Gray is a great primer. So a lot of times you only need one coat of gray or two really light coats of gray. Just doing a different look. And then of course, Shannon, who is an amazing longtime member here, she's putting together a YouTube video on how she does texture in Gnome braids and such. We'll try to release that to you Gnome members first. She's way better at it than me. I can fumble my way through, and some of the times I'm very happy, and sometimes I'm like, I need to do that again. But she's got a thing. She's got a style about her that's so fantastic that I just absolutely love. And she was kind and so generous to say that she'd go ahead and videotape that for us. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry super fast, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the whites. Real quick, I'm gonna take and make some more gray. So it was kind of a light gray. So lighter than the gray that I have pre-made. And my gray is a tiny bit on the brown side. And this is just a pre-made gray I have sitting around. Ooh, that mix right there. Okay. And while the paint is still wet, I'm going to, from the outside in, bounce a little, almost sponge a little darker gray. Okay, so it's wet, and you can do this with a sponge or you can do it with a wet wipe. The sponge, though, has a rectangular look to it, so if I just went in like that, I would have that same sponge effect, that image. So I'm gonna actually bend my sponge. So I wanna get it damp first. Damp, squeeze out the extra. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the black I have, and if it's too much, you can go into gray also. But now I wanna take most of it off. So if I didn't do that bend, where I'm making it round, it would leave, here, let me show you, it would leave, you know, like a geometric almost shape to it. Okay, while it's still wet, I'm gonna come in, do the outside, where I want it the darkest, and yes, I'll run out. But if I would have come right in without taking that, without offloading some of that paint, this would be extremely dark. I don't think I want to go up to the top. So I'm gonna just kind of bring it in a little bit, because there's still plenty of paint. Doesn't look like it. There's still plenty of paint in there. I'm just gonna bring it in, bring it up just a little bit. Okay, so it's getting dry. So I'm just gonna go back in to the water a little bit to kind of reactivate the paint that I do have. Yep, there we go. I knew the dogs were gonna get going. Well, we thank you guys for for holding it together for so long. So right here, you could argue you could almost use a little bit more of the black, but I kind of want to get most of it out. I definitely want to get most of it out. And you don't want to come in super heavy-handed. And I tend to, I really do. I tend to have like the Hulk paintbrush stroke of death. And so many people come in, and I see them at paint parties, and they're doing it so delicately. And it's just amazing what they're able to produce. So I was just thinking, I'm just gonna do him just a little bit different than what I normally do. Give you guys a little something extra to look at. I'm not gonna take him, starting to get that bounce effect. Here we go. Ta-da! Just gonna try to fade it just a little bit. Now, the issue is my background paint is starting to dry a little bit. So if you start picking up paint, you can do a couple things. Blow dry it, come back in, or you can add a little bit more moisture to your sponge just a little bit. You don't want to be able to squeeze any out, and come in with a little bit of the gray. Oh, I like that. So basically you're rehydrating. So super simple. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. I was trying to give you guys just a little bit of something, just a little extra look. Okay, I'm gonna just soften now. Soften a lot of what I have with just some gray, the original gray. Just soften it a little bit. Make sure you hardly have any paint on your paintbrush, which is the sponge. Kind of fun. I could play for a while, but the goal is to be done by the time Megan clocks in. She has class. Soft. Go soft, lady. Go soft. Okay. So now with doing the layer of the lighter color, I'm going to hit the side. I'm giving it kind of the texture, I want to say like a poodle texture at all. Just some hair texture. Let's see if I can just pick up just a little bit more for the top. So here we go. And just play to your happy. I would probably play a little bit longer if I had unlimited time. I'm awarding this a 2 mojito painting. Hey Brenda, how you doing, girl? I'm trying to write hey. This is the gnome from the gnome box. Little sneak peek. Mine is smaller than the ones y'all will get. Okay, so I'm just doing the same thing. I'm making the gray. Painting the gray on. Before the gray dries, I'm taking my sponge, hello, here it is, bending it, picking up, making sure it's moist. I have dampened it recently. Add a little bit of black, and I'm just, this one I don't know if I'll go in so far. I'm just gonna do the edges. The black will blend with the gray, so it's not so bam, dark in your face. I'm just gonna bring it in just a little bit. Probably not as much as that one. Tends to get away from me though. If you don't like this technique, our other techniques are on our YouTube channel. Okay, here we go. So I think that works. Don't you think that works? Let's do this big old honkin' beard that I did a different way than I normally do it. And it's okay. I just wanted to give you some options. Just fits in there. Take a second and hold it in place gently. Or if you have some time, you can chip clip it. This goes on the bottom. Okay, his mustachio. So, howdy, Donna, sneaking a peek. This is our Gnome Lovers box. Yours will be bigger. I wanted to videotape this since we had so many new members that had questions last time we opened. Stay.